Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going? A little dark in here. Just got to work. Oh, there we go. All right. So I've been meaning to make this video for quite some time now. Remember the Volkswagen? The one that the customer heard a bang and then nothing. They had nothing. They couldn't go anywhere. And I put it in gear. I had nothing, no reaction. And I said, I got a funny feeling the pump exploded on it. Okay. We had gotten the job, so we did the job. It turns out the transmission had just been replaced a couple of 100 miles ago. And I got the old one on the bench here. There's a couple things I'm going to show you in this video. So I got the transmission here on the bench, and it's a used transmission. How can I tell it's a used transmission? Very easily. A couple of things. Number one, it's got this on it. This is like a bluing agent or whatever the heck they call it. This is for witness marks, meaning scrap yards, junk yards, whatever, have a tendency to put stuff like this on it so they know was the transmission bolted up. The other tell is this. Burp, burp. That number there. That's the wrecking yard's identification number for this transmission. Okay, so this transmission you cannot take the front pump out of. I have a couple of transmissions here and I could show you on at least one of them how the front pump is actually bolted in externally. The front pump is not bolted in externally on that one, so I'd have to take the whole thing apart. I'm not going to take it apart. There's a core on it. I just can't be bothered with the time it's involved in taking that thing apart. So let me just show you real quick. Here's a Ford transmission. That's a pump right there. The torque converter inserts through this seal, okay, to drive the pump. A lot of people don't realize it. Here's the torque converter. This is the torque converter from that Volkswagen transmission. The torque converter bolts to the flex plate. Here's the teeth that the starter drive. Oops, sorry, I don't know if I pointed it out. Here's the teeth that the starter used to drive and start the motor. Okay, here is the pump drive. And there's some splines in there. Now, if you look really close here, that's the cog that inserts into the pump. Now, I was looking for damage there, and I don't really see any on that. It doesn't look terrible, okay? But look at this surface here, this edge. Can you see it? It doesn't look too hot. So I was trying to figure out what happened, but if you look inside here, that up there, that's where, oh, let me focus. That piece up there is where the pump is supposed to drive, and if you look all the way around, it's gold. Okay, there we go. See that? It's all busted up in there. So, did the pump lock up? Most pumps have two drives on them. This appears to only have one. But as you can see, that's all mauled up and mashed up and everything else. So, did something seize up? I don't know. But that's the problem. That is exactly the problem right there. The pump let go. Let me see if we can see on this one. This one still has the seal in it, but let me just see if we could see inside. Let's see if we could see inside. Okay. Probably can't. Yeah, you can't. There, you could kind of see something there. Yeah, it's too difficult on this one. I have another Ford over here. That's a Chrysler 65 transmission. Yeah, this one has got a different design. It's got flats on the converter, so there's really nothing you're going to see. That's a 10-speed. If you notice, it's actually brand new. It's a brand new reman. It failed in 71 miles. Yep. So, but here it is, completely different design front pump. This front pump, the pump is down there. It's actually a chain-driven pump. So the whole design is completely different. That's designed kind of like an oil pump, the new oil pumps on engines. So Anyway, what's the next thing I wanted to show you? Well, I got that Hyundai motor, which I was going to show you before, all apart. And let me actually get a tripod. Let me get a tripod, set you up in a tripod, and we're going to go over this motor real quick. This is the one that was in a Hyundai Elantra and was making a ton of noise. So I figured, let me just show you what we got going on here. So I had already prepared this and I started taking part of it apart, just for ease of this video. It's first thing in the morning, so if you see bags under my eyes, it's because I'm still tired. All right, so let me show you this. So here is the head. Those cams are not from this motor. Those cams are actually from a Chrysler 3.6. I'll explain that in a minute too. But all the rest of this stuff is from this motor. All right, so this is the main girdle. This has the main caps for the motor. I had already unbolted everything. So, come apart. Now, what I wanted to show you is this. Oops. Okay, here's a main shell half. That's the bearing, and a bearing is shot. Absolutely shot. Okay. Now, this rod here, cylinder number 2, this is the one that was making all the noise. There's supposed to be a bearing in here. The bearing has become one with the crankshaft. There is no more bearing in here. See that? It doesn't exist anymore. It's basically destroyed the connecting rod and destroyed the crankshaft in the process. The other ones, it had play in it, like you could actually grab it and knock it around, but like I said, I already started taking it apart. So that's kind of what I wanted to show you there. Now, a lot of people ask, well, how come I changed everything else? Well, here's the cams. The cams ride in this carrier here, and if you see here, I can catch my finger on all of these little grooves here. See all the grooves? There. Once you see that, the associated spot where the cam rides in here is shot too. See all the grooves in there? And here's the caps. They're shot. They're absolutely shot. See that? So there's no saving any of this. So this is all toast, it's all garbage. Next thing is the cylinder head. Well, why did I replace the cylinder head? All right, here's the lifters. Interesting situation. Now, yes, we replaced the rocker arms because anything that has a moving roller to it, like these rocker arms here, anything that has a rolling point to it or a moving point to it like this, or a friction point, it has been contaminated. So at this point, we're replacing all of this. Now, I figured, okay, well, we could probably save the head. So the valves, as you saw, sit down in here, and I had already taken them out because I actually transferred the valves. But now the lifters sit down in here and lift up as such. Well, guess what? I came to these two, even with vice grips, I can't get them out of the head. They're stuck in there. So there must be some debris, some kind of metal in there. These don't move. They just kind of stay sitting in there, and oil passes around them through the passageways there. But I got a feeling some metal got in there and is jammed and holding them up. I can't get them out. So the other thing here I wanted to show you is I had actually cut open a filter, but I didn't take it apart yet. So let's see what's actually inside the filter. Is there anything? Actually, it's not that bad. And you know why it's not that bad? Oops. The reason it's not that bad is because, yeah, you can see some metal in there. It's not. See the glitter? Yeah, you can see it in there. You can see the glitter. See it all? Let's pour it in here real quick. Sorry, I got the sniffles this morning. But yeah. You could see the nice glitter in there. It'd be nice for like a 60s paint job on like a hot rod. With all that metal flake in there. So, but yeah. I'm not going to cut open the media in there. So I wanted to show you that. You had already seen the oil pump, and this was the main failure. And remember, the oil pump had been changed on this thing, or the front cover, which is the oil pump assembly, but it's completely gouged up. So I had saved that. This is all going to the scrap guy. The other thing I wanted to show you, this is from a motor that you never actually saw. This was from a 2016 Jeep Wrangler with 60,000 miles on it. And why? No idea. But it ate two of the camshafts. And let me show you that. Let me just move a couple things here. Now this is sort of a known problem on these. Considering how many 3.6s are out there, this is actually only the first one that I've ever seen outside of the dealership. So let me just show you this. So here, you can see the intake and exhaust cams. Let me see. This one here looks okay. This one looks okay. This one looks okay. There was more junk, but here, that's the tone wheel right there. You can see all the metal on there. Okay, there we go. There's the one main lobe. See that? That's the one that I wanted to show you. See how the lifter just cut into it? So there's a seized lifter, or rocker rather, here somewhere. Could be one of these two. But you get the general idea. The other thing too that happens with these is the rollers let go. But here, look at my fingers. This is just from touching this stuff, all the metal that's in here. We had taken this all apart and flushed the motor down, like actually hosed it down with engine oil, like internally. Like first we hit it with brake clean. Now obviously this is not the head from that motor, but we hit it with brake clean, and then we used oil in like a garden sprayer and sprayed it all down just to try to get everything out. We did tell the customer, you know, hey, there's a possibility this is not going to fix it. That's not going to fix your vehicle. There's a possibility this is not going to last. And they said, well, I'd rather do this right now because I need to use the car for a short period of time and then get rid of it than, you know, spend the money on an engine, because this repair was basically a third the price of a motor. So I can understand it, but there again, you never know what you get when you buy used. So you may be buying something with decent mileage and you think it's okay. You just never know. You know, but that's not, we did the repair, that's all. You know, we have nothing to do with what happens later on. So yeah, there's just a couple things I wanted to show you. I just thought it was kind of interesting. And I had been promising this for a little while. It just took me a while to get to it. But yeah, so anyway, that's about it. Hopefully you got something out of that. If you did, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, guys. Hope you have a great day. Keep wrenching.